All right, it is a special edition of the Weighing In Podcast because we got a whole lot of crap going on. There's some people missing weight. There's some people that are going to be kicking people across the stage or no media things. And my God, what has happened to the sanity of it all, my man, Josh?
All I know is I'm with Nate Diaz. That's who I'm with. I'm the fucking money fight. That's what it is. Look, there's a lot of buzz right now, and the buzz is simply this. Chimaev missed weight like an amateur. That's exactly what he did. All the talk about being a real gangster, guess what? You're fat.
Guess what? Here, no, you want to know the facts? You want to know the facts?
Yeah, let me hear the facts.
Real gangsters make weight.
Yeah. I didn't say facts. I said fat because he's fat.
He's not fat.
As much as we love Chimaev, as much as we love Nate Diaz, as much as we love Tony Ferguson and Lee and everyone else that is involved in this circumstance and these situations, Chimaev has really put a wrench in what the UFC is doing right now. And I want to make sure that we're very clear. These type of things really piss Dana White off. Really piss him off.
Hold it. How much money do you think they put into the promotion of this pay-per-view? An amount of money that is absolutely lost because they're not promoting the fights that they're going to have, which, look, it does say, if you always look at it, card subject to change. And there's a reason for that. And this is the reasons. But when you look at it, you got to say, Josh, Nate Diaz came in, made weight. Tony Ferguson came in, made weight. How many times have we talked about? There's 3 things that a fighter has to do. God damn it, be on time, make weight, fight as hard as you can. That's it. Chimaev, you missed it, brother. You missed it.
Look, I'm going to take the positive out of all this. And the positive is this. I get to see the fight that I really want to see. Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson. That fight sounds like it's 100% already been made. Now it's
that
a
is
matter
confirmed from what I've been told.
And that's exactly what I heard. And that's the fight that I really care to see. When we talked about Nate Diaz, send him off properly, that's the type of fight that I want to see. They both have a chance to win. They're both on a losing streak. They both have this opportunity to seize the moment and get that. This is the fight even before Nate Diaz was leaving. And even before Nate Diaz dropped 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it was in a row.
But right now,
that was the fight that people want to see.
But right now, Nate Diaz is going, God damn it, I should have trained more.
He's a savage. That guy was fucked up on what? 10 days notice. He fucked up Conor McGregor. Guess what?
He will definitely.
He'll have the fight of his life right now against Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson will have, I think, a good performance as well. I think a great performance. Honestly, this is the type of fight that motivates each fighter. You know what? Nate had said something about Tony during the week. Why did I get the Tony? Or like, why didn't that fight come out? Tony now, obviously, with the name like Nate Diaz, he's been begging to fight big time names for the longest time. Sure, he beat a lot of big time names on the way up to his winning streak. But when he got to that winning streak, he missed out on not being able to fight Khabib. He missed out on, and then he started having a losing streak. And the simple fact of the matter is, this is a fighter that will motivate him and bring him to the top of his potential to be great again. And so when you see these two guys, this is the fight, John, that I am more stoked about watching these two guys throw down. These two legends. Let's be honest, they're legends. Yeah. I'm stoked to see these two legends throw down more so than any of the fights that were on this card. I'm paying for this pay-per-view. You guys heard it here first. I'm actually going to pay for this pay-per-view. I'm paying for it.
But okay, hold on. But let's clear the air here and go over some of the scenarios that could have actually happened here. Okay, because let's be honest, Nate Diaz made weight. Yep. His opponent was way off. Normally, generally, usually in that contract, it says that if you make weight and your opponent does not, and you do not accept that fight, you get your show money. You're going to get your show money because you made weight, and it's chalked up as a fight on your contract. Now, the UFC is not going to be happy that you didn't accept, but now they would not complain about a 7.5 pound difference. And you'll get the 20% from the commission. Big deal. But Nate Diaz could have walked away from the UFC. And if you want to talk about the big fuck you, this would have been the big fuck you. Okay? Because if he was that kind of guy that says, oh, no, okay, fine. He's showing exactly who he is. He knows the UFC's, is kind of been put in a bad spot based upon the missing of the weight. He has the ability to fight someone that he actually wanted to fight, that he actually would be excited for, just like you're talking about.
Dave.
And he's taken the fight. Then you got to give him all the credit in the world for taking a fight he has not trained for. You got to give Tony Ferguson all the credit in the world because he's taken a fight that he did not train for. All these guys, man, they all manned up and they're all doing exactly what it should be. The one that does, the one that's got fucking, something to say sorry about is Mr. Chimaev.
Yeah, but John, you said it. Nate Diaz right now could have rode off into the sunset with his show money and said, screw you. This lets you know he is like, hey, no, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter.
He's a righteous. There you go.
I'm going to give love
righteous
to
fighter.
His Real Fighters Inc. This is the type of shit he's talking about. When I something falls off at the weigh-ins at his company with the new promotion he's doing, he's gonna be like, hey, I have this guy that's the same weight. Fight him and let me know you're a real fighter. Now those are the guys. Those are the type of fighters that I grew up around. Like, oh, you couldn't fight that guy? Oh, that guy didn't make weight? Or that guy, oh, he's a little bit bigger? We just showed up at a venue sometimes. I remember showing up at a venue and not knowing who and going, hey, okay, look, you're about 200 pounds. I'm about 170. We're close enough. I saw you fight last week. You're not that good on the ground. I could beat you. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it came down to. I've got a couple fights that way. I saw the guys fight Trevor Prangley. And then I was like, you know what? I saw you fight Trevor. I'm better than you on the ground. I get you down. Don't worry. And that's how the fight matched up. Yeah. And so this is a throwback. This is really, honestly, I'm so pumped. I mean, you can hear it in my voice. I can't shut the hell up right now. I cannot wait to watch Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson.
I know you maybe come on and have to actually work here.
I called you up and I said, hey, we're doing a short little quick show.
We got to do a show.
We got to do something, man. We got to do something. Now, look, if it all works out properly, because I got to give my love to the boys, man. The boys, I fought both of them. They're both fantastic fighters, but they're both good people. And not only that, but Nate's on his way to do bigger things on his own, to dictate what he wants to do in his career. And Tony Ferguson trying to make his run back. And I support both of them to whatever they want to do. And this is a big opportunity for Tony Ferguson to fight a huge name, get a win, and get back on track. Now, if he beats Nate Diaz, you know how many of those guys that said, no, I don't want to fight Tony, I don't care, whatever, he's washed out, they're all going to be like, oh, I want that money fight. I want that fight.
There you go.
Tony's going to grow a lot if he gets a win. Nate Diaz, if he wins, he's going to ride off into the sunset with his check. Okay. And then on top of that, he's going to also be like, hey, I'm ready for that Real Fighter Inc. Whatever it is. It could be Jake Paul. It could be anybody.
Yeah, anything.
It could be Conor McGregor in a boxing match. It could be.
Good.
So I like that matchup between these two, which seems to be confirmed. Now the question is, John, because we're hearing some things on the back door, that Kevin Holland wants to be the main event because he wants to be 5 rounds. Well, we've seen 5-round co-main events. So let's see it. You and Chimaev finish what you guys started yesterday in the back. Okay. And we go ahead and see Nate Diaz, who is the biggest star on this card, hands down. Hands down, he's the biggest star on this card. And I would even say that Tony Ferguson is the bigger star than Chimaev. So it's very close. It's close.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson, he's coming off some losses, but he's a big star.
Yes.
So if I'm going to put this as a main event, I'm going to put Nate and Tony as the main. I'm going to put Chimaev and Hall as the co, but a 5-round co-main event. And I love that Kevin Holland's calling him out on this. I love that he's calling him out.
Oh, yeah, because you know what he's doing, and he's being smart.
Yep.
It all comes down when we found, I was watching the weigh-in, talking to you because we were doing other business. Mm-hmm. And I said, Chimaev just missed weight, man, 7.5 pounds. Right. And you said, you got to be kidding me. Right. And I go,
I thought you were joking,
dude. I said, what about Kevin Holland now against Chimaev? Tony Ferguson against Nate? Come on. Think about it. You go, that would be awesome. Look at what's happening. It's falling into place. I honestly look at it, and if you want to say, I think the UFC probably going to have to dish out a little bit more money than they had, what it was, but it's worth it. It's going to save your card as far as, look, you had a good card.
Yeah.
I think you actually have a better card. And especially with the backstory of Kevin Holland and Chimaev and what happened in the back, and I'm going to shave your beard and the front kick and all the stuff. Come on, baby. This is what it's all about.
But John, let's not forget about the ghost fight. It's the fight that doesn't get a lot of love right now because that's the one that just came together at the end. You got Rodriguez versus Lee. That could be a fucking great fight.
That's a great fight. That's a great fight.
That's a great fight. And so as much as I'm like, oh, go ahead.
Rodriguez weighed in at a catch weight, which he was allowed,
Yeah.
And Lee weighed in at his 170 welterweight, limit. So that's a question of what can be done with it and stuff, and does Lee take that fight? But, there is some little bit of a problem there. There is no problem if you look at the Chimaev, because we talked about it. I said, look, Chimaev weighed in 7.5. I said, Kevin Holland weighed in at 180. That's what he was supposed to weigh in at. It's right there.
In terms of that fight, you may have to butter the bread a little bit of Holland, making it a 5-round fight versus a 3-round fight, which is what he's asking for. I know he wants that because he knows Chimaev probably thought he was going to get an easy run through against Nate Diaz, being the better wrestler, being the stronger fighter, being the taller, bigger fighter. He probably thought those things. Well, now he's facing someone who's just as tall, if not taller than him, faster, has some pop, and good on the ground. Those are the things. But
not a great wrestler.
Not a great wrestler, but I think physically stronger than Nate Diaz.
Yes. I think so.
And so when you're talking about the matchup there, the Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz fight belongs in the main event because those are the two biggest names on the card. Sure, Chimaev's got a big name, but I'm going to take Tony and Nate over them for the main event all day long. I'm going to put Chimaev and Holland as the co-main, make it a 5-round fight, butter the bread a little bit of Holland for making the change an opponent and a different style of fighter as well. Then you got Rodriguez versus Lee. They get up the butter the bread a little bit of Lee as well as Rodriguez because now they're fighting different guys that they prepared for. But they both are there to defend, to basically live up to what they talk about being. Fucking gangsters, fucking fighters. This is what they want to do. You got to show me. Do you want to be a fucking fighter or not? That's the Dana White whole talking, and that's exactly
all
where this
from the tough one.
And that's where this comes from, though. Look, these changes are going to happen. You need to go ahead and step up. If you want it, I'll pay you a little extra. That shows good faith from Dana White. Now, all those things being considered, I want to remind people, if Nate was to say no and ride off into the sunset, and Kevin Holland said, no, I'm going to stick with my guy because my guy's tailor-made for me, and Chimaev is now off the card, they have to refund every person that wants a refund because you have to, by law,
bought the pay-per-view.
They bought the pay-per-view. They'd already prepaid for it. You have to, by law, refund them if both main event guys fall off. If one main event stays on and they fill it with somebody else, then they don't have to because one of those portions is still, one of those fighters is still on the card. But if both of them were to fall off, then they would have to refund a lot of money. So I think they've done a great job of saving the Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson situation and making that, obviously that should be the main event. But moving forward, John, I gotta be honest, I'm fucking pumped, man. This is a way better card. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Nate Diaz.
I like the matchups better.
I'm happy for Tony Ferguson. I think both of them have the chance to win. Both of them have a chance to lose. Both of them have a chance to fucking go out there and show out on their fights. I cannot wait.
I agree with you. I think for Tony Ferguson, it's a way better fight as far as not maybe as far as the competition. The competition is a little bit higher, but it's going to garner more attention. It's going to be something that he can look in and take pride in, and it's somebody that he's always wanted to fight. So it's perfect, and it comes back to that same, element for matchmaking of the UFC. Both guys coming off a loss, get somebody a win. Now, obviously, Tony is fighting to stay in the UFC. Nate is saying that he's going to leave, that's up to him. But he could leave without taking this fight. So give it up for the man. He is a real fighter. He's the real gangster. He made weight. So I love it. I can't wait.
Look, Tony Ferguson has an opportunity to really catapult himself back into the Showtime area, like in basically just that area where everyone's going to want to fight him. And that's important. I really believe that's important. For Tony Ferguson, you need somebody that really ignites you. He's a fighter at heart. We all know that. But he needs, at the age that you become, 37, 38, as you're still fighting at one of the highest levels. Let's not be mistaken. He was fighting a good fight until he lost to Chandler with the kick.
Yep.
But he was winning that. He won that first round. And he was doing well in the second. Got clipped. That's the game. But that's somebody who people are talking about potentially getting a title shot next. And he had won the first round. So he's not washed out. He is getting older.
No.
But I want to make sure I'm clear. I fought both of them. Nate Diaz is not physically strong. Tony Ferguson is not physically strong. Nate is good on the guillotine, on the neck, and on the back. Tony Ferguson is good.
Tony's good on the guillotine.
The anaconda and the back and the darce. You know, like the anaconda and the darce. They're good in their own perspective ways on the ground. Both of them are good on the feet.
But Tony's a better wrestler.
Toner's a better wrestler. Okay, but then also with Nate's got
feet,
a little bit more
Nate's
of the
better.
output on the feet. Nate is the better guy. But Tony
Nate's better with his angles.
Both of them will take shots. Nate's probably got a little bit better chin as of lately. Okay, and so but this makes for one of the probably
neither guy will ever quit either.
Neither guy. No. There will never be a question of tapping. There will never be a question of being when you're knocked out of giving up. They will fight this thing to the bitter end, and I hope we see a 5-round fucking war. And I think this has the potential of being the fight of the year. And I'm pumped. I cannot wait, John. I'm telling you. And I know I've joked about streaming stuff. I pay for all my shit, you guys. Okay. I want to make sure these fighters get paid. I pay for it all, but I'm going to make sure that I pay double probably for these guys. I love both these guys. I'll watch it on 6 different TVs in my goddamn house to make sure they get paid. I love both these guys. So, John, anything else? What do you think?
Yeah. Let's, off of all of this. Please, people, realize how hard it is to take a fight on this short of notice against someone that is that good. And I mean that for both Nate and for Tony. I'm saying it for Kevin Holland because Kevin Holland knows how good Chimaev is. Mm-hmm. And if he takes that fight, that is not for sure right now. So we could be talking about nothing actually. Mm-hmm. But if he does take that fight, first off, if he takes it, I'm a Kevin Holland fan already, so it's a little bit tainted, but I'm a Kevin Holland fan for life. He takes that fight, especially after what happened in the back and the little scruff up. That says who you are. And I've always thought that Kevin is a guy that, you know what? He doesn't back down off anything. He's got the mouth. He'll talk the talk, but he'll walk the walk. And so this is, exactly what I expect out of him if he takes it. I think he's being very smart in saying, I want it to be a 5-round fight. And the reason he wants it to be the 5-round fight, he watched the fight with fucking Dorino. He watched the Gilbert Burns versus Chimaev fight, and he goes, oh yeah, I know how hard I can push, and I can push this guy over the edge, and cardio is going to be part of his downfall. So I can understand him saying, I want it to be a 5-round fight. We'll see if they give it to him. I sure hope they do, but we're going to see it because it's not for sure yet.
All of those things, exactly what you said, I'm excited for. The takeaway for me from this whole situation is it's one thing to talk about being a gangster. It's another thing to actually come up and to be one. And what I mean by that, you guys, is it's not about the talk. It really is about, like John has said for years now, showing up on time, making the weight, and fighting your ass off. All of those things are a mute point if you don't fucking make the weight. You talking about being this, being that, and then showing up overweight, that amount of weight. If you miss it by a half pound, you miss it by a pound, okay, I could maybe get behind you. Like, maybe you had a bad weight cut. Maybe your knee was bugging you during camp. Yeah. I'm sorry, not 8 pounds, 7.5 pounds. No, absolutely not. Look, this is a special edition that we're doing for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We're doing this for fun because I had to call John, get him out of the tree.
Because we got excited.
John was in the oak tree about to kill himself, and I was like, yo, get down from there. Get down from there. Mr. McCarthy yelled at him, got him down from the tree, and Podcast Dave was actually available. So we said, let's drop this special little short show for you guys because we respect you guys. We love you guys. Thank you guys for so much for supporting our show, the Wayne and Podcast. And John, take us away, buddy. I always got to let you finish with that.
Yeah, well, for everyone out there, we do hope you enjoyed this. We hope you are as excited about what's going on. And just do me a favor. Take your hands, put them together like this, and please tell the gods of MMA to make Kevin Holland versus Chimaev confirmed. I want to have that, and we hope you enjoyed this little bit, and we will see you.